Are you going to the gym, eating your protein, following a routine, and still not building the muscle you expected? Maybe the problem isn't that you're not doing enough. Maybe you're overcomplicating everything. Because the guys who actually look like bodybuilders, they built their physique on just 5 exercises and 3 meals. This is the base. For natural lifters, no gimmicks, no advanced programming. The rest is adjustment. Let's start with the truth that most fitness influencers don't want you to hear. Because if you knew this, you'd stop buying their programs. Your muscles don't know what machine you're using. They don't care how many exercises are in your routine. What they respond to is mechanical tension, progressive overload, and multi-joint recruitment. And there are exactly 5 movements that check every single one of those boxes better than anything else in existence. Exercise 1. The squat. The squat is not just a leg exercise. That's the first thing you need to understand. When you load a barbell on your back and descend below parallel, you're recruiting your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, core, spinal erectors, and your upper back to stabilize the load. That's more muscle tissue activated in a single movement than most people hit in an entire workout. Here's why compound movements like the squat produce results that isolation exercises can't match. They generate high levels of mechanical tension across multiple muscle groups simultaneously, create more progressive overload potential week over week, and demand full body coordination that trains your nervous system to fire harder. That's the mechanism. Not magic, not hormones. Tension, load, and consistency. The practical application is simple. Squat heavy, squat deep, squat consistently. 3 to 4 sets of 5 to 8 reps with progressive overload week over week. That's the formula. Metric of progress. If you're not adding weight or reps every 2 to 3 weeks, something in your recovery or nutrition is broken. And the meal section will fix that. Common error. Cutting depth to protect your ego on the weight. Partial squats build partial results. Go below parallel or you're wasting your time. Most people skip squats. Most people also don't have legs. Coincidence? It's not. Exercise 2. The deadlift. If the squat is the king of lower body movements, the deadlift is the king of everything. Full stop. The conventional deadlift activates your entire posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes, lower back, traps, lats, and forearms, in one coordinated pull. It is consistently ranked among the exercises that recruit the most total muscle mass and place the highest systemic demand on your body. That's not an exaggeration. It's exactly why it works. You're asking your entire system to mobilize at once. The reason most people avoid it is the same reason most people stay small. It's hard. It requires technique, focus, and a willingness to push your actual limits. But that difficulty is exactly the point. Your body only grows when it's forced to adapt to a stimulus it hasn't encountered before. 2 to 3 sets of 3 to 6 reps. Heavy, controlled on the way down. Explosive on the way up. Metric of progress. Grip and lower back strength. If those are lagging, your deadlift will plateau. Fix them directly. Common error, rounding the lower back because the weight is too heavy. Drop the ego, build the pattern, then load it. The deadlift doesn't just build muscle. It builds the kind of body that looks strong even with clothes on. We're 2 exercises in, and I already know what some of you are thinking. Squats and deadlifts. Nothing new. But here's what's different. It's not just the exercises. It's the specific combination of these 5 movements with the 3 meals I'll break down in the second half. That combination is what creates the environment your body needs to actually build muscle. And the meal strategy? That's where most people fall apart. Stay with me. Exercise 3. The bench press. The bench press is the most popular exercise in every gym on the planet. And it's popular for a reason. It works. Horizontal pressing activates your pectoralis major, anterior deltoids, and triceps in a way that no machine or cable variation can fully replicate. The reason is simple. Free weight pressing requires your stabilizer muscles to fire constantly throughout the entire range of motion, creating more total muscle recruitment and more mechanical tension on the target muscles. The real advantage of the barbell bench press over flies and cable crossovers isn't about which study says what. It's about what you can actually load progressively over months and years. The barbell allows you to add weight in small increments, week after week. Cables and flies isolate the pec better, but put your shoulder in a compromised position at higher loads. Compounds win for building mass. Isolation is a finishing tool, not a foundation. 4 sets of 6 to 10 reps. Control the descent. Pause at the bottom. Drive explosively. Metric of progress. If your bench hasn't gone up in 2 months, look at your sleep and protein intake first. That's almost always the answer. Common error, flaring the elbows 90 degrees out. Tuck them slightly, protect the shoulder, and you'll press harder for longer. A big chest isn't built on cables and machines. It's built on a barbell and a willingness to go heavy. Real talk. Here's where the fitness community gets divided. Do you think isolation exercises are necessary for a complete physique? Or can compounds alone get you there? Drop your take in the comments. The answer might surprise you. Exercise 4. The overhead press. This is the most underrated exercise on this list, and the one most people drop from their routine first. That's a mistake. The overhead press develops your anterior and lateral deltoids, your triceps, your upper chest, and your core in a way that no lateral raise or machine shoulder press can replicate. But here's the part that makes it truly special. Pressing weight directly overhead requires your entire body to stabilize the load. Your core braces, your glutes contract, your legs drive into the floor. Standing overhead pressing has been shown to recruit significantly more core musculature than seated variations, meaning every rep you do standing is also training your midsection. 2 muscle groups for the price of 1. 3 to 4 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Standing, barbell or dumbbells, no machines. Metric of progress. Most people plateau overhead faster than any other lift. When that happens, add 1 rep per session before adding weight. Don't skip ahead. Common error, hyperextending the lower back to get the bar overhead. Lock your core before the press starts. Every single rep. Your shoulders tell the story of your training. Weak shoulders mean a weak program, period. We've covered 4 of the 5 exercises. The 5th is the one that creates the wide, powerful look that separates someone who trains from someone who looks like they train. But before we get there, some of you are already thinking, this is too simple. That's the trap. Complexity is not the enemy of results. Complexity is the enemy of consistency. Research is clear on this. Stay with me. Exercise 5, the bent over row. Every elite physique in the history of bodybuilding has one thing in common: a thick, wide, powerful back. And the bent over row is the single most effective movement for building it. The bent over barbell row targets your latissimus dorsi, rhomboids, rear deltoids, biceps, and traps, all in one pulling movement. It also requires significant core and lower back engagement to maintain the hip hinge position throughout the set, which means you're building structural strength and postural integrity at the same time. If you've been doing 14 different back exercises and your width hasn't changed in a year, I can almost guarantee the bent over row isn't in your program, or you're doing it wrong. Here's the cue that changes everything. Don't think about pulling the bar toward your stomach. Think about driving your elbows toward the ceiling. That single mental shift increases lat engagement and takes the biceps out of the equation. Biceps are not your back. Stop letting them steal the work. 4 sets of 6 to 10 reps. Controlled. Full range of motion. No momentum. Metric of progress. If you can't feel your lats during the pull, drop the weight by 20% and rebuild the pattern before adding load again. You can't fake a wide back. You either built it or you didn't. Part 2. The 3 meals. Now here's where most people completely fall apart, and where the real separation happens between people who train and people who actually build muscle. You don't need 6 meals a day. You don't need to eat every 2 hours. You don't need a protein shake after every workout. What you need is 3 strategically designed meals that give your body the raw materials to repair and grow the muscle tissue you just broke down with those 5 exercises. Quick note before we dive in: you don't need to eat all 3 of these meals every single day in exactly this format. Pick the ones that fit your lifestyle. Rotate them throughout the week. Stay consistent. Consistency beats perfection every time. Meal 1, the foundation meal, pre-workout. Grilled chicken breast, quinoa, and roasted vegetables. This is your pre-workout fuel, and it's not arbitrary. Eat this 1 to 2 hours before training, and you're giving your body 2 things it needs to perform: high-quality protein and slow-burning carbohydrates. Chicken breast is one of the richest sources of leucine, the amino acid that plays a central role in triggering muscle protein synthesis, the biological process by which your body actually builds new muscle tissue. Proteins high in leucine and essential amino acids consistently produce stronger muscle-building signals compared to lower-quality sources. Chicken, eggs, and dairy are your most reliable bets. Quinoa adds complete plant protein combined with complex carbohydrates. That combination gives you sustained energy throughout your training session without the crash that comes from simple sugars. The vegetables add micronutrients, specifically magnesium and zinc, that support muscle contraction and overall recovery. 30 to 40 grams of protein. 1 full cup of cooked quinoa. Whatever vegetables you enjoy. If you train in the morning and can't stomach a full meal, a smaller version, 20 grams of protein, half a cup of oats, is better than nothing. What you eat before you train determines how hard you can push, and how hard you push determines how much you grow. Meal 2, a recovery meal, post-workout. Lean beef or lean pork with oats and leafy greens. After training, your muscles are in a state of breakdown. What you put in your body in the hours following your workout matters. Not because there's a magical 30-minute window where gains disappear, but because your total daily protein intake and how you distribute it across the day determines how much muscle you actually build and retain. The post-workout window is one of the most practical moments to load in protein, so use it. Recent research comparing lean pork against high-fat protein sources found that lean protein, where fat content is low and protein quality is high, produces better muscle protein synthesis responses post-exercise. The reasoning is straightforward. Lower fat content means faster digestion and more rapid amino acid delivery to muscle tissue. That's not magic. That's basic nutrient timing working in your favor. Oats provide complex carbohydrates that replenish muscle glycogen, the stored energy your muscles burn during training. Without glycogen replenishment, your body has less substrate for recovery. 30 to 45 grams of protein, 1 cup of oats, a generous portion of spinach or kale. Your muscles don't grow in the gym. They grow at the dinner table, and most people are leaving gains there every single night. Meal 3, the growth meal, before bed. Baked salmon, sweet potato, and Greek yogurt. This is the meal that separates people who build muscle from people who just maintain it. And it's the one most people skip entirely. During sleep, your body does the majority of its repair work on damaged muscle tissue, but it can only do that job if it has the raw materials available: amino acids from protein and glycogen from carbohydrates. Skip this meal and you're spending 8 hours in a mild catabolic state. That's not dramatic, it's just physiology. Salmon delivers 35 to 45 grams of high-quality protein per serving, along with omega-3 fatty acids that have been shown in multiple studies to enhance the sensitivity of muscle cells to amino acids. You're not just feeding your muscles, you're making them more receptive to the protein you're consuming throughout the entire day. Sweet potato replenishes glycogen stores overnight, giving your body carbohydrates to work with during recovery. Greek yogurt adds casein protein, a slow-digesting protein that releases amino acids gradually over several hours. Research published in peer-reviewed nutrition journals has found that casein consumption before sleep is associated with greater improvements in muscle thickness and strength compared to no protein before bed. The mechanism is the sustained amino acid release during the hours your muscles are actively repairing. Metric of progress for this meal: track sleep quality. Better nutrition before bed means better recovery, and better recovery means more weight on the bar in your next session. Everything is connected. You're either building muscle while you sleep, or you're wasting 8 hours. The difference is what you eat before bed. Do this tomorrow. Here's the entire formula in 30 seconds. Squat, deadlift, bench press, overhead press, bend over row. 3 to 4 sets each. Add weight or reps every 2 to 3 weeks or fix what's blocking you. Pre-workout: chicken, quinoa, vegetables, 30 to 40 grams of protein, 1 to 2 hours before training. Post-workout: lean beef or pork, oats, leafy greens, 30 to 45 grams of protein within a few hours of training. Before bed: salmon, sweet potato, Greek yogurt, slow protein, glycogen, and omega-3s while you sleep. That's it. The squat and deadlift build your foundation. The bench press and overhead press build your upper body. The bend over row builds the back that ties everything together. The pre-workout meal fuels your performance. The post-workout meal accelerates your recovery. The bedtime meal builds muscle while you sleep. 5 exercises, 3 meals. Executed consistently, with progressive overload and real effort over months and years. You don't need more information. You need more execution. If you want to take everything here to the next level, my next video is all about optimizing your testosterone naturally through sleep quality, adequate caloric intake, smart training dosing, healthy body composition, and the specific micronutrients that support hormone function. No supplements, no shortcuts. Real levers that actually work. It connects directly to that bedtime meal we just covered. Subscribe so you don't miss it. It drops next week.